tinfoil hat. Oh, what the fuck are you guys even talking about?
Global controls will have to be imposed, and a world governing body will be created to enforce them.
Welcome to Tinfoil Hat. We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
So it's interesting. So content today is so interesting and how we disseminate it, right? So I don't know if you guys seen this kid, he's from TikTok, and he always does this, Have you seen that kid?
Yeah.
The risk?
Yeah.
I don't know what his
With the
name.
typing?
Yeah, he types in stuff. He's like, and every time it's the same face.
So annoying.
No, it's not. This video he did on Snow White. Have you guys seen this one?
No, I need.
Oh my
Who's this
God!
kid? Someone. What's his name? I'm trying to.
It's so crazy, dude. Let me see if I can find it. You can play for everybody, dude.
What is he typing in? I'm just imagining the faces and getting.
He does this like he's a twink, and he does like, oh my God, I cannot believe it's so nuts.
You don't hear his voice at all.
No, he never does his voice, Johnny. I'm saying it to you right now.
If that qualifies as fair use. That's interesting.
I'm just, who cares? We don't put it on.
No, I'm just. No, I'm not talking about for us. I mean for him. Like, why if he's facing? Where'd you send it to him? Text or email?
I texted to you. So he does this whole thing where he breaks down Snow White. How old do you think Snow White is in the cartoon?
16.
14.
Yeah.
How old do you think?
She's 14.
Yeah, she's 14. How much do you think how old do you think the prince is?
At least 30.
31.
Oh shit! Look at
It is an
that.
old movie, right? What year was that?
It's like 50s.
No, older than that.
Old,
Yeah,
I
but
would
dude,
say,
it's just once again Disney shady as shit.
1937.
Yeah.
So 14 was about 35 back
Yeah,
then.
it really was. Yeah.
I don't know, man, but it's super crazy. Nick, how are you?
Oh, I'm good, man. Hey, on that note, did you know that Disney had a massive porn collection, supposedly?
A massive
Like,
what?
Porn collection. Walt Disney was like a raging pervert. I made a movie on Disney.
I can beat you on that. I have a good friend of mine. He is known as the celebrity porn tape broker, and he told me he knew a dude who was a straight shooter that said he had 2 tapes on him as kind of like his way of like hedging anybody taking him out.
You mean tapes of Disney doing some shit?
Yes.
Of Walt.
Of Walt Disney.
Ooh, some gay shit?
No,
Was it
underage.
gay?
Underage.
Oh,
And the other one was a picture of JFK and RFK running a train on a chick.
Damn. That's big, man.
Those
Pretty
are
nasty.
big, but those are his things. But yeah, I mean, like, dude, from the jump,
Yeah.
I've always said this. Like, listen, I didn't get into kids' entertainment until I had daughters, and I created this comic book because I wanted to give them something they could watch and not like have to worry about crazy stuff going on. So I'm always wary of anybody who does kid entertainment when they don't have children.
I have the Snow White. Do you want the Snow White thing?
Yeah, play it so everybody can see it. I don't know what this twink's name is.
All right, hold on. I'm bringing it over. Just 1 moment.
Or you could take this off the screen, bud.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it won't.
I know, but you could still take it off the screen.
I don't know what it is. Okay. Hold on.
So, Nick, while he's looking it up,
I got it right.
You got it? Okay, real quick, and then we'll get it. Here we go. Can you see that, Nick?
Yeah, I see that.
Here we go.
Let's do this. A twink.
31.
Who said the age? But I wonder who that was. Oh, she was
I'll
busted.
fight everybody right now. What?
That music is great.
He does that all the time. I don't even know he's getting worried. Oh, like they boiled her? So we're just basically watching this video. Sorry about that, guys. If you're watching at home, you're like, what's going on? Sorry. It's just basically breaking down that Snow White is way darker than we thought.
It's like Justin Bieber in a beanie wagging his finger at old
some
Snow White.
super twink.
Bro, it's like everything now is way darker than we ever thought. Like all the MLK stuff coming out now.
Seeing that he was having gay homosexual parties, orgies, and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because they don't technically say that, but they said, I forgot the term was, something orgies, unnatural orgies, which is...
Unnatural, really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Which, who knows what that means?
Who knows, man? That's truly, I mean...
Unnatural.
That could mean many...
What could that mean?
Animals are involved.
Yeah,
possibly?
but it also could be, I mean, like, you know, because the FBI was ran by J. Edgar Hoover, who was a cross-dresser, right? And it's just that whole thing is just crazy.
And they worship him. They've deified J. Edgar Hoover at the FBI. So who knows what?
So you know, the fact that they were sending him. We also got to remember these are the same people that were, you know, sent Martin Luther King a letter going, "Hey man, maybe, you know, hey, have you ever thought about offing yourself?"
Yeah.
Right. It's kind of crazy. Nick, so what's your whole take on Trump right now?
Oh, I'm loving this show right now. This is a great show. It's been 1 week. I mean, okay, the whole AI vaccine thing, that was worthy of everyone getting thrown off. But everything else after that, I've been stoked on. Especially last night, hinting at the ending of the income tax. And then like getting the external revenue service in. That's huge. And like, it just, he's the first crypto president, and I'm heavily into crypto, particularly XRP. I've been telling people to invest into XRP since 2020 when it was like 25 cents.
Yeah, we were into that.
Yeah. You tight. Yeah, I made a movie called The Greatest Show on Earth 2, and it's basically leading people down the path of our financial future. And I released that last September when XRP was 60 cents. And look at where it is now. I think it's like at $3.10, and everything is falling into place with it. Now that Trump is in, the SEC and XRP lawsuit, I think on X, a lot of people think it's over because they're searching online. And
I
it's
see
not
on X, there's a lot of, to be honest with you, I pulled out my money out of XRP and just holding in Bitcoin right now till I see what happens. Again, as we know, we're always playing this game of what is real, what is not real, and what is going to be digital slavery, all that stuff. We've always thought, again, I was getting XRP again when it was 30 cents, and it's exploded. But then he kind of he EO'd an anti-CBDC coin. So I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Hey, I don't know if you saw today, the most recent news is that a lot of the popular exchanges are removing like 90% of the tokens out there from their exchanges, particularly USDT, Tether, which is what made Bitcoin skyrocket so high. Tether is going away, and that used to be the stable coin for anyone who was making big bucks to go transfer over and then spend it anywhere. So that's happening right now, today. That is that's the most recent news. And RLUSD is going to take over. That's the Ripple Labs stable coin. So it's happening. If you do have Bitcoin, it might be a time to really look into moving your assets over into another coin or keeping a little bit in there, because if USDT goes away, which now it's gonna, Bitcoin's gonna tank. it's going to tank.
It's interesting. What is the play? And that's why we're excited to talk to you guys. We're live from the Wise Wolf Gold and Silver Studios. Go to samtripoli.gold. Use the promo code tinfoil. We're here live with Nick Alvear. Okay. Very excited to have him on. He has a Good Lions studio. Let's get into it, Nick. Tell us a little bit about yourself and where our listeners can find you.
Well, I'm a filmmaker, musician. I was doing this before I got in trouble. I got in trouble at the Capitol on January 6th. I stormed the Capitol.
What?
Yeah, I stormed the Capitol and I smoked everybody out under the rotunda. So I'm the doobie smoker. If you Google the doobie smoker, you'll see the videos of me.
Good for you.
But thanks, man. They fined me $1,000 for that because the weed smoke hit the portrait of George Washington with all these women. That's what there is on the very top of the rotunda.
It's right there. The Doobie Smoker Center for a role on January 6th.
So that's me just smoking my little pipe, and then about like 5 minutes after, I checked my fanny pack and I had 7 joints left that I thought I didn't. So I just passed out these joints, man. Yeah. I said, do you smoke weed?
Dude, because
Traditional insurrection stuff, you
yeah,
know?
100%, dude. What a violent overthrow of the government you guys attempted to do by smoking pot. It's dude, so crazy to me how so many of my friends for the longest time just saw this so weird. Like the people who supported all the BLM Antifa riots suddenly in shock and awe about this situation. It's so crazy to me.
What up? You don't think this was worse than 9/11?
Yeah, this was right up there with 9/11. It's such a. I mean, a lot of people think this is our Holocaust. This could be our Holocaust.
My God.
With the way people reacted. And it's just super sad to me that people are so emotional now that we can't even have real discussions. So were you pardoned? Were you one of the people pardoned? Did you actually ever go to jail? What is that story?
Yeah, so I the day after the Capitol, there was a guy at the top of the rotunda who filmed me, who worked for Tucker Carlson's news outlet called The Daily Caller. And that video, the next day, I saw everywhere on Twitter. It had 7 million views, and the dude wrote, "Man smokes doobie under rotunda." And that is why all the news outlets called me the doobie smoker. And so that's when I freaked out, and I realized if I go home, I'm going to get arrested. So I hid out for a month at a friend's house, and that's when the SWAT came. Like they came and broke down the door, basically,
at his house,
and at his apartment a month later. And so when you get busted to go to jail, they don't say like, "All right, go get your clothes, go get your outfit." They just get you in what you're in. And so I was wearing weed pants and a Trump tank top, and I just smoked the bowl, and that was my outfit throughout 4 different jails. I went through 4 jails. Basically, they wanted
period of time.
Yeah, over a period of 45 days.
Damn.
Which is crazy because Trump is number 45.
They kept you in that outfit the whole time?
So what they do is whenever they move you from one jail to the next, they put you back into your street clothes.
Huh.
So when I was in the jail, I'd be wearing like the orange jumpsuit. But whenever it was time to go to a new one and be in the booking room, there would be times where correctional officers would laugh at me and just be like, "Hold on, just wait." I'm like, "Yeah, where else am I gonna go, dude?" And they'd bring their other correctional officers and laugh at me just because of my outfit.
Wow.
So it was humiliating, but also very, very not. Like I had a really good time in jail, dude. I honestly, jail to me was like a summer camp because I've been making movies nonstop, and I made 64 films in the last 4 years. You can find those films at goodlion.tv. So me going to jail was like having friends finally.
Dude, let's go to the film. Let's go see some of the film names. Go to free films, Johnny. Or, let's say all the free films. Can you click on some of them? I mean, there was...
Oh, yeah. You can hit that. Yeah, there you go.
Look at that.
So we got the
simulation,
celebrity cloning.
celebrity
Celebrity
cloning.
cloning. Oh, look,
We'll get into all this
yeah.
stuff. Pervy Wood. Yeah, there we go.
I have trailers too for the greatest show on earth.
Yeah,
too.
we're getting
Tartaria.
Tartaria.
Oh, there we go.
I saw Europa was on there. You're getting dangerous, buddy. Europa?
Yeah, dude.
That's a dangerous right there, dude. That's crazy.
Yup.
So you have
this is what I've been up
films, thousands of films.
So there's thousands of films on the website that are free, that are the best of the best that I've curated that are out there. That's kind of like the flower for the bees to come and see and then get attracted to my films, which I'm just going to be honest. Like, the reason why I make films is because I thought that all the other films out there sucked in the way of production. My mission statement was to make a documentary that was red pilling in the way that would trick people into thinking that there were hundreds of people behind that production, but it's really all just me. And it's worked. People are always saying like, dang, Nick and team, good job. But I made it that way.
No, I love it, dude. I think it's a great thing. I think this is Hollywood's worst nightmare. This is the establishment's worst nightmare. Yeah. You know, we have friends of ours, Hibbler. He does a similar thing with his movies, and you guys are creating high-end professional videos that can bang with these people. It's almost like what the Chinese AI supposedly did to, you know, yesterday we were talking about, Johnny, do you still think it's a psyop?
That was Howie who said
no,
that.
But I know, but do you?
What do you? It depends on what you mean by a psyop. Do I think it's actually a dangerous?
Do you think it's a functional AI that can actually do what it said it's doing?
Well, I mean, people can query it. You can test it. They can. People are.
So now we got gay AI.
I mean, there was a story. There was a story yesterday that Meta was scrambling to try to duplicate this. Like, they had all hands on deck trying to try to figure out if they could achieve the same thing. I don't like basically reverse engineering it. It sounds like.
Of course, that's all he does.
Yeah. So yeah, you're right.
Dude, Mark Zuckerberg. I mean, going off on whoever runs Apple. What's his name? Tim
Cook. Yeah.
Tim Cook, and not having an original idea in forever. That is laughable. There's nothing more laughable.
No, I mean, he literally, their biggest thing now is Oculus, Meta, which they bought. Oculus. Palmer
or
Luckey
Instagram.
Pushed Palmer Luckey out. They acquired Instagram, Facebook.
By the way, my goal is now to become the #1 Snapchat comedian out there. I'm just going to dominate Snapchat.
You're bringing back Snapchat?
Everyone's going to Instagram. I'm just going to dominate Snapchat. Just put up all my videos there and bang with Ukrainian sketch comedy. That's all that's on Snapchat is Ukrainian sketch comedy.
I'm getting Mormon missionary girl ads all the time now.
On Snapchat?
I have no idea. On Instagram. I have no idea what I did to get that. It's very strange.
You're looking at some weird shit, buddy.
But it's missionaries. Like, hey, you want to come to church with us?
Well, you only like doggy?
Jesus Christ will turn your life around. But it's Mormons. I don't know. It's strange.
Now, Sam.
Yes.
You know what I wanted to bring up? When I first started making movies in the beginning, what I would do, and I still do this now, I will go on X and just I'll like put the link to my movie on a post if it's something related to it. And I remember in the beginning, I got a movie of mine to you, and you said, "Hey man, if you keep making movies, you can come on my show." And that was like movie 3. There's probably Hanks or Gaga, and now I'm finally here. So thanks for having me on.
Making dreams come true, dude. And if you want to see me live, and that's a dream of yours, go to samtripoli.com events. This weekend, going to be in Columbus, Ohio on the 6th. Going to be in Pottstown, PA on the 7th, and be in Morristown. No, is that 2 weeks from now? That's not next week. Excuse me. 2 weeks from now, Morristown. It's going to go. Yeah, it goes Columbus, Ohio, Pottstown, PA, and Morristown, New Jersey at the Dojo of Comedy, and finally at the end of the month, the House of Comedy, dude. Yeah, bro, I love it, man. It's a great time to be a content creator. It's a crazy time to be a content creator. Do you get worried about the power bottom lizard people coming and censoring you and what you're doing?
Yeah. That's actually the biggest blessing in my life was on October 15th, 2021. I used to be on YouTube, and people were always thinking like, who's this former Hollywood guy on YouTube making these films exposing pedophiles? And I'm not former Hollywood. They just thought that because the editing was great. And after I think 6 months, it was on October 15th. They just nuked the biggest channels, and not just like I only had 60,000 followers at that time, but they nuked me.
Which platform again?
YouTube.
Oh yeah.
And it was 3 days later that I had goodlion.tv up, because I used to make websites for fun and not really do anything with them. I would just do it. And so like, it came in handy. And I created this website on Wix, the platform Wix. And I was really worried because Wix is owned by Fidelity. It's a big ass bank. And I figured that if they caught wind to the films and what I was doing, that I'd be screwed. But I think about 2 years in, they reached out to me and they said, "Hey, what are you doing? You make a lot of money. You need some help." They said, "You need some help. We're your direct access now." And I thought, oh, I'm not in trouble.
Wow.
So,
Wix?
right. Like, I guess nobody ever used Wix to make a streaming platform. So there were a lot of times when I'd reach out and say, "Hey, where's this feature?" And they'd be like, "We don't have that because no one does what you've done." And it's an $8 million company. And it really was started with nothing. Like, I can teach people, if you have a computer and that's it, and maybe some motivation to be an editor, I can teach people how to do it the way I did it. I did it with no money. I was on unemployment. I got fired for being a Trump supporter. And then it was like, I don't know, 2 months into it where I saw Fall of the Cabal. And I thought, great red pill, but terrible editing.
Yeah,
I can do this. I can do this way better.
But that woke up. That literally red pilled a lot of people. I remember when that came out, I was getting it sent from like my cousins and stuff, and I was like, "All right, this is."
How about the fact that she died right after that?
She really died?
Yeah.
I know. She suicided herself, man. We were friends, sort of. We would talk every now and then, and like FaceTimed once, and it was like meeting a celebrity for me, and she felt that way for me, and I was like, "You know who I am?" And we like kind of giggled at each other. But she had a severe depression issue, and she had a history of just going and vanishing. So her partner thought that maybe she was just going to come back again, and she never came back. And I guess they found her body at some point.
It's tragic. We've heard of that story, people going too deep, and then people, obviously when she is found dead, the stories go, oh, somebody offed her, somebody this, somebody that. I'm not saying that doesn't happen, because we do know that happens. But sometimes people go too deep and they just can't come back from what they know. And, I can find myself in those moments where I'm like, I am so deep right now. How do I talk to anybody? How do I how do I go on stage and have conversations with people that are just trying to escape their day to day, and I'm yelling at them about usury, I mean, and it's like, am I doing my job here? I feel bad sometimes.
No, that's the thing that Hicks struggled with. You hear that everything Bill Hicks, where he privately talked about it, it was like, because that was, his natural inclination too, or to talk about the things he was passionate about, which in that, in his case were dark things that were happening. So, yeah.
But I realize that, like, it's that fine line. You kind of gotta, it's interesting, because if I'll do a show with all Sam Tripoli fans, I go hard in the paint. They love it. But then when you go, "Hey man, is there anybody? How many people listen to my podcast?" and 5 people clap, I'm like, oh.
That's your challenge, right? Though, to make those things palatable.
Right. But when I'm yelling about how everybody should be made fun of, and you start going off on like Holocaust, so people like, they get quiet. But I'll say this: nobody walked out.
That's good.
Nobody walked out. I used to walk people all the time, which I enjoyed. And I'm sorry. Like, I just think it's funny that people get upset about a joke. But ultimately, I think that's the best way to show your displeasure, is to walk out, not to heckle, not to try to get somebody fired, but to walk out and pull your attention. I respect that. I totally have a respect for that. And but that is kind of our battle right now is how do I take all this information I have? Like, I love it. Some people are like, how do you deal with it? Oh, I just don't like them lying to me. That's what I'm really against, the lie that they're perpetrating on us, and how so many intelligent people, not smart people, just buy a hook, line, and sinker.
Right. Yeah. That happened to me. It's similar to what Isaac Cappy said too. Isaac Cappy was talking about like the same exact thing before he left, died, whatever we think. Saying if you get so sucked into this, it consumes you and you become it. And this is part of the reason why I don't like to make Hervywood films anymore. That was a series that got really popular that I made. It's what blew me up. It was the first one I wrote. Also, it was the fifth film. But like the last Hervywood I did was on Diddy, Volume 2. We have a trailer for that too. I sent the link.
Johnny, can we watch the trailer?
Yeah, I have it right here.
Cool.
I feel like that story, they're trying to drag it out for as long as they can till everybody moves on. That's all you need, dude. Like, if you're listening to me, I don't know if canceling happens anymore, but if they try to cancel you, just get off the internet for 2 weeks and the story will move on.
So you think they're just going to drag this on for 1-2 more years so no one gives a fuck?
Yeah.
All right,
Say goodbye to
we got an ad here. Let me just mute that.
Rumble's got to make that money, Peter Thiel.
Costly cable TV once and for all.
Yeah.
This
way to
revolutionary
mute?
invention
You can't
gives
even
you
mute the
access
ad?
to your
That's so
favorite
I'll
channels.
skip it. There we go.
Ever seen a military
You're gonna
monocular
get another one?
lens that can
Oh, another
zoom in
ad.
on objects?
Another
They
one
use-
back to
they
back.
use Rogan's
You gotta
voice
hear
in
about this.
everything.
Rogan's got to be like, dude, how do you...
Sorry.
Here we go.
What were you saying?
Rogan's got to be like, there is a podcast that uses my name, my voice, and it's a top 200.
Oh, the AI, the Joe Rogan AI podcast,
Yeah.
or the AI experience, or whatever they call it.
And
That's
it's
crazy,
like,
right?
how do you not fight that?
Yeah, he seems to be a chill guy, right?
Let's see it. The rise and fall.
What if I told you everything about the music industry was a lie? What if most of Hollywood stars you idolized were forced into contracts that led them to darkness, praising Satan instead of praising God? What if I told you that Sean Diddy Combs was the Jeffrey Epstein of the music industry? Would you believe it? Scotty the Kid, the mastermind behind the massively popular...
Oh, look who made it!
Oh, Sam Tripoli.
Yeah, there you are.
By the way, she made it into one of my T-shirts. If you look at the swarm,
Oh, she's the one on the. Yeah, you're
she's
right.
the one in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
Wow.
I literally
that
can't
took the world
stand.
by storm in the middle of 2020 leads us on a journey in uncovering who really hides behind the persona of P. Diddy. We won't go into the sexual deviance or freak-offs in this film. That's saved for Volume 3. What we'll go into is the path and trails of darkness P. Diddy walked throughout his career, ultimately becoming the demon of the music industry that has finally fallen into his grave. With biblical scripture and on a linear timeline, walk with us in discovering the truth behind the former media mogul, Sean Combs. By recognizing
does he have a
the clues
star?
behind,
Oh, sure he
and with
does.
our
Everybody's
newfound
got him.
awareness of it, as a public, we will become better at discernment, ultimately never allowing ourselves to idolize such demons again. This
great.
is Hervywood Diddy, Volume 2, The Rise and Fall of Sean Combs.
Yep.
Great editing. Holy crap. Good
Right?
shit, yeah.
Just like that Sam Altman, the exact same thing. Just up to no good. I mean, every one of these guys, I guarantee you, if you go deep enough, deep enough, you will find that he committed some crime and they got him off. I mean, everyone loves Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg had like a murder rap, got off of that. Hey guys, I don't know if you guys love crypto like I love it, but if you do, this is another golden era of cryptos where the bangers bang, and there's no better place to find out what picks to make, what plays to make than our good friend James Man and Copy My Crypto. Let me tell you about Copy My Crypto. Guys, it has to piss you off to watch crypto fly up in prices for a decade and you still done nothing. Okay. It makes sense. Crypto's complicated and it's really boring. Well, here's the good news. You don't have to know a thing about crypto to make the money like so many have. The CopyMyCrypto.com membership site shows you the exact cryptos that YouTuber James McMahon personally owns, which means you just got to copy him. It's like having a big brother who knows what he's doing. You don't need to know a thing about crypto or how to invest. You simply just copy along. So let me tell you about James. He runs the Crypto with James YouTube channel, which has over 50,000 subscribers. In the summer of 2020, he told his viewers to buy 26 cryptos. Had you put $100 into each one, it went on to be worth over $123,000. Of the 26 cryptos, his top pick, the one he singled out called Phantom, went up 692 times from when he said, okay, that one call alone retired a number of people, including guys in their 20s and 30s. Remember, this is public knowledge. You can go to YouTube and verify this yourself. So if you'd like to join the 2,800 members who copy James, then pause what you're doing right now and head over to copymycrypto.com/TFH. Okay, that's copymycrypto.com/TFH. That's TFH. You're not only find proof of everything I said, but my viewers get full access for just $1. Yes, you've missed out on Bitcoin, or you can keep buying some, okay? But there's over 2 million other cryptos. Do you really think you've missed out on all of them? Guys, don't waste any time. Go to the site and read it. Okay. Once again, that's copymycrypto.com/TFH. It ended money worries for so many. It may just do the same for you. Hey guys, real quick, I want to tell you about our good friends at Mint Mobile. They are changing the game. Trust me on that. And I don't know about you, but I love keeping my money where I can see it. Okay. Unfortunately, traditional big wireless carriers also seem to like keeping my money too. Ain't that crazy? All right. After years of overpaying for wireless, I finally got fed up from crazy high wireless bills, bogus fees, and free perks that actually cost more in the long run. And that's why I switched to Mint Mobile.
Say bye-bye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you with premium wireless plans starting at just $15 a month. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. You can ditch overpriced wireless and get 3 months of premium wireless service from Mint Mobile, again, for just $15 a month.
So here's what we need you guys to do. If you like your money, Mint Mobile is for you. Shop plans at mintmobile.com/tinfoil. That's mintmobile.com/tinfoil.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month 5 GB plan required, equivalent of $15 a month. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details.
You think I mean, obviously the answer is yeah, but they got something on Elon, right? Would you think they got something on Elon? A little.
I mean, he might be one of those people that are just born into this role, a LARP. Like. Do I think they have something on Bill Gates? I don't know. I think he's probably the childhood trauma, a bunch of childhood trauma led to him being positioned perfectly for what they needed him to do. What are your thoughts?
I know a gross fact about Bill Gates from okay, well, I'll just say someone who worked with George Lucas for a very long time became a friend of mine. And they got to tell me some inside fly on the wall type stuff. We were going to actually make a movie, and I'm glad we didn't, because she probably would have been killed for doing it. But one of the side stories in what would have been the movie was so there was an Olympian friend that was friends with Melinda Gates, and that Olympian friend was actually my friend was like an assistant to them because George Lucas offered her up, said, "Hey, yo, be an assistant for her for a little bit." She broke her leg or whatever. And so Melinda Gates was at that woman's house venting to this woman. So my friend's hearing all this. And what she heard was Melinda venting, saying that she was so upset and bothered that Bill didn't want to leave India because he was having so much fun having sex with underage boys. Oh, it's crazy.
Crazy, dude. And you see Bill Gates is on this press tour now. He's going out denouncing his, saying that I regret having any association. It was only one dinner. And his wife, in their divorce stuff, says it says clearly. She's even done interviews where it's like he had a relationship with Epstein, and it's for him to say, what it was. But it clearly, he's lying. He's lying and lying over and over again about it.
Oh, it's so crazy, dude.
Bill Gates says the end of his marriages to Melinda is the biggest mistake he regrets most.
Yeah, it's so funny. And his daughter's like, all my friends won't talk to me. It's like, yeah, because your dad is a pedo Darth Vader.
Yeah, he just did it.
Pedo Darth Vader. Yeah. Yep. Do you know about Linda Gates and that whole conspiracy theory? Like, I had a friend who would see the Gates at one party every year. It was like an end of the year party that they would come to, a fundraiser. And she vividly remembers, to the point that this was such a shock that she took a photo, like low key, that from one year to the next, it was Melinda to man Linda. Like, it was from woman to man all of a sudden. So let's put our fairy tale hats on. How could that make sense? Well, we've seen shows like fucking, what's that one with Kevin Spacey when he's in the White House?
House of Cards.
House of Cards.
House of Cards. People with power are going to kill people who find stuff out. So what if they killed Melinda because she knew too much and swapped her with Kevin? What's the actor? Kevin Costner?
Oh. No, I don't know who you're talking. No, it's
Is there someone she looks like?
Yeah, look it up. Kevin, Melinda. Look up Kevin to Melinda Gates. And, and it's like they have the same nose. It's very weird.
It's insane.
You think she'll ever talk about what she knows about Bill Gates?
Kevin Miller? Is that something?
No. He's a famous actor.
Kevin, you're sure?
Is it Kevin? I don't know, but I'm sure people at home.
Kevin Kline. Oh, Kevin Kline.
Yeah.
Kevin Kline.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, she does kind of like him. I'll pull it over here.
Like, it's very weird. But where's Kevin Kline? Does anyone know where that guy is?
In the Wicked Wild Wild West. Remember he was in that movie.
Oh my.
Let me type in.
Do you think Melina would ever talk about what she knows about Bill?
XG, we're literally talking about she's dead right now. Mm-hmm. That's what we're talking about. That she's dead and been replaced by Kevin Kline, the actor.
She has talked about Bill. She's the one. She's that interview I was talking about. Yeah, they do look similar.
And he hasn't been in any movies like at all ever.
That is pretty. That's knows.
So crazy.
That knows.
They're like, hey, you got to roll. What is it?
You got to suck Bill Gates' dick.
Time to pay your dues.
Time to pay your dues, dude. I don't know, man. This trans stuff is pretty crazy. I'm not against any of it. The inversion. Candace Owens been going pretty hard on the First Lady of France.
Bridget Macron,
and
her name
now she's saying Macron sent people to her house in America.
Really? How much of it, though, do you think does that? You've always talked about how it empowers people to use it as blackmail when we demonize it like that. Do you think that by doing that, you're kind of playing into it as Candace?
The question becomes, Johnny, is the presentation that this is your wife when it's really a man dressed in drag or a man living as a woman? To me is disingenuous.
Is it? If let's just say hypothetically, he knows she's trans. She is trans.
But we don't know she's trans.
No. I didn't say we know. I said he knows she's trans. Let's say hypothetically he does. She is. And to him, she would... if he was playing that political game that the liberals play, she would be a woman to him, and he would treat her like a woman. And why would he go out and dead name her? As far as he would feel.
Okay.
Right. Why?
I understand.
What's his obligation to acknowledge that? I guess.
I think what it does is it sheds a light on, again, a giant pedophile problem with the European elite.
Yeah, 'cause
What would
Did
that
it-
have to do with her being trans?
Wait up,
With
she
pedophile?
started
because-
dating him when he was
Yeah.
really young, like
Yeah.
really young.
Like he was
would
we're
babysitter type of
getting
shit.
into Snow White shit. Like he was 14, she was like
But what
30.
what does her gender have to do with that? It
Well,
being
because-
pedophilia.
What's that?
What does her gender have to do
Well,
with
it
it
has to
being
do
a
with the
pedophilia?
fact that she's not a biological woman being presented as a biological woman, and she participated in pedophilia. And that to me
Those
is
seem like two separate things to me, but yeah.
that
okay.
doesn't seem like two separate things to me.
Are you saying that people who are trans are more?
No, I'm
inclined
saying that these are combined. I'm not saying every trans person
But
is
really,
a pedophile.
I'm not even talking about. I'm talking about this thing where you've seen on Twitter where they like put your face. They've done it with you with your shoulders. They're like Sam Tripoli, feminine shoulders.
Yeah,
She's
they love
trans.
saying I'm a chick.
Yeah, like
Same here. They say I'm a chick too.
Yeah, they just love that. Like, oh, Sam's a chick. I'm like, come on, dude.
like that. That's
I know I'm not hung, but that's offensive.
the fringe stuff. I think is not healthy. That where they're just accusing everybody scattershot.
Well,
of
but
being-
Johnny, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Like my whole thing is live and let live.
Yeah, I agree.
But Macron is part of this.
I'm not applying them. I'm not saying them really. I'm just saying, what would you expect him? Say they hypothetically she is trans. What would be the right way for him to handle that in your mind?
Just let
At
the people
some
know.
point, it
Yeah.
should be like, yeah, she's a trans.
Yeah, let the people know.
I mean, Johnny, here's the biggest issue. Like when you go with Michelle Obama, right? Like
Yeah.
they're telling you they're constantly telling us trans are unicorns.
Trans are women. Yeah, that's what.
No, but they're telling us not only are they women, but they're just this higher level of understanding.
evolution.
Right? It's like, oh my God, they're mystical animals. They're like these like mystical creatures that should be loved and like we should, and then you were going, well, Michelle Obama's a guy, and they're like, how dare you? You go, how can you have those two thoughts at the same time? How can you have that
I agree with
trans
that,
are mystical
100%.
animals and be offended that we say Michelle Obama's a man?
Yeah, I agree completely. It's like that guy.
That's what I'm saying.
That guy who did those hilarious interviews,
Yeah.
where he just accuses
He nails it.
random women of like, oh, you had great work done. You're when did you convert
Yeah,
or
we're
whatever?
just trying to talk about trans women.
Yeah.
Like when did you
No, but
transition?
sir, I am not a trans.
I
woman.
totally agree on that, dude.
Yeah.
I totally
You are
agree
a
on
woman.
that.
Yeah.
Or my favorite thing is when they interview the pro transitioning kids, but they always get them that they should never get their tattoos before they're 18. But yet they could cut their dicks off.
That shit's crazy. Bro.
Yeah, it's again, it's childless, progressive white women.
And someone-
Trump is halting it. Trump has actually put in something in motion to stop those surgeries for minors, for children. And I don't know if he outlawed it for adults, but he also made it so there's two genders as well. So Trump is in full savage mode over the last week. I don't know if you've been paying attention to it.
we've been paying attention.
We love it. We love it. We're just waiting for the other shoe to drop. But, because I'm 52 and we just found out that Ronald Reagan got pegged. So we're just waiting for the second shoe to drop, But I am interested. I listen, again, we're going to root for him when he does well. And we're going to boo him when he starts doing shady shit. That's kind of how it has to do. He seems to be on the side of common sense, even though I completely disagree with him and his Israeli stance. But I feel that like he knows he has to play some game either for a little while or for a long while. And I don't agree with that, but maybe that's how he keeps his skull intact.
I think so. That's a good point of view. I always thought the same thing. Why are you on that side? That is the obvious wrong side. But yeah, keep his head intact, because if he was very vocal about being against it, I mean, I don't know what you guys think about Q, but one of the Q posts that says saving Israel for last has some sense in this situation.
We were talking about I felt Q turned after that. When that came out, Q's whole energy changed, which I think some hijacking went on.
Is there still drops?
100%,
No,
dude.
right? When's the last drop?
I don't know when the last drop was. I don't know.
2019, maybe even 2020. He came back for a little bit.
Yeah.
But I remember reading every single post, and there was some point in the middle where the author changed. It used to be military jargon that I didn't understand. Then all of a sudden, and it might have been from the switch between 8kun to 4chan or vice versa, that all of a sudden it became like plain English, and it was too easy to read. You know what I mean?
No, I'm with you on that. And listen, we can get into it. I think Q was Operation Trust. And when you get into that, it is that they had to tell you what was going on to corral people like us, paranoid, don't trust authority. I also believe there is a part of it where we could have seen the first attempt to kind of test out AI. Can AI create something that we would follow? And here it is. You go back to the show, we were always discussing Q. One thing I said, and it's why I think the show still is popular, is that we tend to be right. Is we said that it's like Q could be the elites telling us everything going on because they're just going to hit the reset button and then bang, here comes, and the world isn't the same. You know, we are in 2025. When Hillary runs, that becomes a change in how the elites are operating with us. 10 years in, it seems like, to me, I think why people are so shocked by Trump is like we're winning. We're getting some things we want, and we're not used to that. We're used to never getting what we want.
Yeah, you're so right. Yeah, never getting what we want. Yeah.
I mean, even when Trump got the first time, the media would not allow us to have a moment to enjoy it. It was just constant.
Also, there was never the first time. There was nothing like it. He was. I think everything he experienced in the first term, combined with what happened in his first re-election campaign, informed what's happened in this first week. He's like, all right. I mean, it's balls to the wall, dude. This first week has been insanity, truly, and I hope it continues.
Okay, after he came in hot like that first week, do you think the next president's going to come as hot as he did? As in, like, I made these promises, I gotta go, because you know how
I don't think there's anybody that would take someone being like him.
Who do you think's gonna be next?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Whoever comes in, I would say has to come in like
We're
that.
We're already talking about next. We're 7 days in this thing. Can we just enjoy it? Can we just have a moment to enjoy it? I mean, you got these people on the left. Oh, Trump said he was gonna get down. He's gonna lower prices. He's 7 days in.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Yeah, that's disingenuous completely.
That's
and you
so
just
true.
gotta get. I listen again. Whenever Trump does something I like, Whitney Webb whispers in my ear. I get it, okay. But when I watch what he's doing in North Carolina, I take that as a win. I'm happy for those people. When he shows up to L.A. and curb stomps Karen Bass, who should be out of office right now.
Yes,
I take that as a win.
Yeah, there's no loss in that for someone who's gone from a tent to an apartment. You know, there's really he's in Israel's pocket, you know. There's like, you're not ruining that.
It's part of BlackRock's play to fucking get everybody in apartments. I like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Are you serious? Yeah, come on.
Yeah, right? I mean, like, it's a great play. They're moving everything out. They're doing what they're supposed to do. You know, I hope he goes to Flint and fix that next. Just go around fixing everything.
I mean, he's putting everybody back to work, back in the office, people.
Hey, guys, real quick, I want to tell you about good friends of mine over there at True Classics. Listen, the fires were burning, and True Classics stepped up, and they were helping people left and right. I did my part, okay, by wearing True Classic, then going vigilante style through the streets of Los Angeles looking for arsonists with a bat, okay? I will fight. High, hard, okay? That's why I need apparel that will let me high kick to the head. And there's no better apparel for that than True Classic. True Classic is the clothing for the vigilante, okay? If you're looking for street justice and trying to look good at the same time, there's no better place than True Classic, okay? When you're trying to right the wrongs, keep the streets safe for the ladies so they go out and party and get weird, there's no better place to go than True Classic. Look at that. Quality outfits. I go up on stage as X Xavier. Do I perform in True Classic?
One time he told me never to dare to go up in sweats. What does he do now?
Those aren't sweats. Those are True Classic fight gear, okay? That's what I call it. I like to wear True Classic. It makes me look good. I feel good. It lets me high kick to the head. I'm restrained by traditional jeans, okay? True Classic gear lets me go. High kick. I don't have to warm up if I'm going to high kick to the head. It also is really good when I have bad angles, okay? I have guts, I have tits. True Classic cleans it all up. Yeah, you got guts and tits? Don't worry, have to worry. True Classic makes you look good. All the different colors, you name it, they got it. They got good-looking grays. Look at that guy. Well, you're going to mess with that guy? Look how good-looking that guy is.
You know that guy gets it.
That guy gets it. What's that
gets
guy?
it.
Looks like
54?
Clive Owen,
Probably
doesn't he?
knocking bottoms out 20-year-olds. That's how good. Oh, you know why? True Classic. That's how it goes. Okay, guys, so here's what we need you to do. Level up your date night or everyday style with the clothes that actually fit right. Just use our exclusive link at trueclassic.com/tinfoil to save. That's trueclassic.com/tinfoil. Shop now and elevate your wardrobe and fight. Thank you for sponsoring this show.
Your wardrobe.
Your wardrobe. Now, how long did you stay in jail?
So it was a total of 45 days, and the first jail I was in 30 days, and that was like in a bay with 30 pretty much black dudes. Like I was in Virginia, so there was probably 3 white dudes, and I was one of them.
So they didn't
I'm not even white.
They didn't put all the January 6th in like one jail. I would assume they would all like kind of.
Why would they do that?
No,
They would all riot.
Yeah, they did.
I'm not.
They
saying,
did.
Oh, they did?
They could. Yeah, I mean,
They did. Yeah. So like what they did was initially they got me and they put me into the closest jail. And that was in Virginia, Western Tidewater. And then I realized that they weren't giving a shit about me. I wasn't given bond. I was going to stay there. And then my friend, or a fan who became a friend, she said, my husband has gone through this before. Like I had to get him out of jail once. I know what they're doing. Make me your power of attorney, and I'm gonna move this forward for you.
Oh.
And so basically, what she enabled me to do was go fast track. And so they were like,
Though,
okay,
dude.
looks like habeas corpus. We got to send them to the judge in DC so the judge can make a ruling, because that wasn't the right jurisdiction for the judge in Virginia to make any shot call on my case.
Huh.
So after 30 days, they started my move to the DC gulag. So I did get to spend 2 weeks in solitary confinement in the DC gulag, where they kept all of the J6ers, or as many as they could have. So of the 1,500 that got in trouble, I don't know how many were arrested or actually imprisoned, but in that gulag at the time that I was there were 30 of us. And some were flown in via Con Air from like California.
Crazy.
And I was on a bus and I went through 4 jails. The first jail was fucking crazy, bro. Like I got a tattoo. I got this tattoo when I was in jail from a midget named Mini-Me, who was bald and had a kink for pregnant women. Like
Who doesn't?
I know, dude. It was crazy. There was this little black dude, like same height. So we had 2 mini, like one black, one white. And
did they fight?
People start. No, they were cool. They were cool with each other. But the mini black dude eventually like opened up to me, and a lot of people there did, because I was really heavy on doing podcasts at that time. So I basically brought my energy of podcasting to the cell. And this little black guy was like, "Nick, I want to tell you something. I'm actually a woman." And so I'm feeling like, yeah, dude, I do know you're a woman, because when you're around, I get the feminine energy. And that's the one thing you don't get in jail is feminine energy. So there were a lot of people who ended up telling me like things that they probably shouldn't have. And there were things that I did that were completely abnormal that most people were like, dude, what are you doing? Like, for example, a lot of my fans donated so much money to me that I started to get hot plates for everybody. But you can only get one extra one. So I would give enough money to that guy so you could get that extra one to that guy. And then I'd go to that guy, do the same thing.
Oh, right.
And at one point, there was like 20 of us having like a fucking raging pizza party. And like everyone was just like, Nick is fucking insane. What is he doing?
You're prison Jesus.
That's great, dude.
Prison Jesus. I love that. Yeah, it was so touching for me in that bay that when I left, I cried. Like I even bought drugs in there. Like I don't do drugs anymore. I don't drink. But when I was in jail, you can get drugs. You can get whatever the fuck, whatever there is on the menu.
Really?
You can get alcohol like through a steel door. Basically what I had to do was like go knock on this door to the next bay, ask for the drug dealer, ask what's on the menu. We got Suboxone. And then I bought some for some homies, and we all got high one evening.
Dude, and you
And,
have
like,
no fear that you end up getting popped for that? Like they're watching you maybe, and then you have a real, like, years on your hand? Like, were you thinking about that at all?
Oh, for sure. Some people at night would get their medication, and so one of the dudes in there, he'd be like, "Hey, Nick, you want to get high?" I'm like, "What do you mean? What do you mean?" He's like, "Let's snort this," and I was like, "All right." And so like we would have to hide from the cameras, so we like knew like let's make sure they don't see it.
I see.
And like, yeah, I mean, when you're in jail,
Like to be high
I remember like
prison. What's that like?
what's what?
What's it like to be high in prison? I would freak out.
Well, that sounds like opiates, Suboxone, right?
It was so that time when I was in that cell in that bay, it was dope because there was like a little bit of space to move and walk around. So I was pacing, doing push-ups. Suboxone's like an upper and a downer. So like I did so many push-ups that like I kind of tore a muscle. You can't feel it.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, there was actually one time where there's this guy who tried to start a fight with me. He was just too comfortable and was talking shit too soon. And I put him in his place. And then, so there was this moment where I took some sleeping pills that someone gave me, and that was so uncomfortable. That was like being on a shroom trip in jail because I remember getting up and I couldn't sleep. So I went to go pee, and like everything was fucking just messed up to the point where then this guy who I put in his place, like came up to me and wanted to apologize. And I thought it was going to turn into a fight. But I was just so out of it, I couldn't even continue the conversation. I told him to talk to me later. It is like a summer camp in those situations, but jail is not always like that. And God let me know quick, because when I got moved to the next jail, that one was very private. That was when they're moving people to prison. So jail is kind of like where they keep all these fucking criminals who are going to spend 10 to 15 years, if you're in the federal circuit, in prison. So, and also they keep you in there. So it's more miserable in jail because you don't have freedom to get out and walk around or buy stuff from a vending machine. Being in prison, you can have a fucking phone. Like the drug dealer that I met in that first bay, I still send money to and I still talk to, because in the second jail, we bunked up and he taught me how I could get anything I wanted in jail. He's like, you got to find out what people want. And if you have something to give them, you can get something back. So then after that jail, I went to another one, and that was like the real jail from the movies. There was like 70 people in one place. They were all doing all kinds of shit. That they were giving tattoos, they were getting high. The black dudes from DC found out I was a J6er, and they wanted to kick my ass.
Why?
Because the DC loyalists, they just, the guy that was in before me, his name's Jonathan Mellis, who's also a friend, who's a J6er. He was way too loud, and he made his stance known and created a lot of enemies right off the bat. And then I come in looking like him with a beard and long hair, and so he just gave me the bad reputation off the bat. And but I just red-pilled people throughout the whole jail experience, and
cool.
That's the thing I gave to people.
Like fights.
You know how it started? People would say, people would be talking about drugs. And I'd be like, you guys ever heard of adrenochrome? And they'd be like, no, what's that? And be like, all right, it's story time.
Red pill in the prison. I love that. Did you get in any fights?
There were a few times that I almost did, and I talked my way out of them, and I never knew I had that ability. There was one guy in the first bay that I was in. He was washing his clothes with an iPad in his hand. Sometimes in jails now, you get fucking iPads and you can video chat with people.
That's crazy.
And so like I had fans showing me their coochies and their titties like in jail. It was miraculous. So this guy,
I mean, you
is
look
washing
like Aquaman. So I mean, that's gotta help.
It does help. This guy's washing his clothes with the iPad in his hand, and I'm like, yo, dude, why don't you put that on the charge? Like, you could drop it, and then we're all screwed. We're sharing 4 iPads, man. And he got in my face, started yelling like he was going to beat me up, and he's like, let's move to where there aren't any cameras. Come on, let's go. So I move over there, and I say, dude, why do you think fighting is going to fix anything? Why don't we just communicate? Why don't you just express to me what you're feeling, dude? Like, you're going to beat up a rookie in jail? How cool are you? And then he backed down, And then what was cool was, so he was one alpha, and then there was another alpha, and they started to fight once. And he used the same argument that I used. He's like, why don't we talk about it, fool? Why do you always want to start a fight, fool? And I'm sitting there like, dude, that's what I said. Like, did I just create a chain reaction in jail for like peacemaking?
That is so crazy, bro. You're just bringing the peace to
Who actually wants to fight? Yeah, he's Jesus. Yeah, he's jail Jesus.
I mean, dude, a lot of people in prison have a lot of trauma. A lot of people,
but in their
Oh,
heart,
yeah.
most people don't.
Let me tell you about this
something
one.
else.
There was a time where I went to jail again because I violated probation. I moved to Nashville for a chick, and then I got in a fight with my probation officer in California, and
this after? Is this after
What's that?
January 6th?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is after. This was like 2 years ago. And so I ended up back in jail. I'm in Kentucky for 20 days. I spent 20 days in jail. And similar situation, very small space, 20 dudes. I was sleeping on the ground the whole time. I made a good friend named Q, this dope black dude named Q. And there was one day, and this is the fight dynamic in jail. There was one day where the Lakers were in the playoffs, and we were all wanting to watch the Lakers, but the people in charge of the TV at that time were watching some Desperate Housewives thing, and then they started to like debate about the housewives, and we're all looking at each other like, the game is on. And so I'm like, fuck it, and I went up, I took the remote. They didn't even see me because they were just fucking debating about housewives, and then I put on the Lakers. And then Q turned into he just turned into a whole nother person. He was no longer my friend. He came up to my face. He's like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? The fuck? You don't ever fucking do that. And I looked in the corner, and all these dudes, like the black dudes, were going to put on their shoes. Normally you're wearing slippers in jail. And now they're all putting on their shoes because they want traction when they get into a brawl. And the white dudes were doing the same thing. This is what happens when there seems to be a fight that's about to start between a white and black dude.
Oh,
that the tribes link up.
Oh my God.
I talked my way out of this one though too. I said to Q, I'm like, bro, you're debating here, and the Lakers are in the playoffs. We've been watching them all week, dude. How come you get control of the TV and I don't? And then things kind of silenced a little bit. This is like the most common sense. And then he backed off. And then this white dude came around, and he's like, yo, Nick, I was putting on my shoes, bro. I was like, why? He's like, because when this happens, bro, this is a black versus white world in jail. I was like, shit, man, crazy. I had no idea. But like that jail experience was dope because I got to do the same thing I did in the first one. It was Mother's Day, and I overheard someone say they never gave their mom flowers on Mother's Day. So I was like, bro, I got you. My mom's going to Instacart to your mom. What's her address? And then someone else was like, oh, I wish I could have that. I'm like, you too, let's go. And then in that jail, you could smoke e-cigs. So I was buying a shitload of e-cigs and passing them out, just like low key. Because the reports show that if the jails with e-cigs have less fights. And people, that was like the gold currency, having a e-cig, getting a buzz in jail is like the most peaceful buzz ever.
So you tell me the black prisoners hate the J6ers?
The DC ones inside of this one jail, yeah. There was one night where I was red pilling people, and I knew that they could hear. So I was like purposefully even saying it louder. And there was a gang of Mexicans who I thought were pissed, but they came through and they're like, hey, yo, we see you. And they kind of gave me this like acknowledgement. And I thought, that's cool. Oof. But then the black DCers, that one of them yelled out loud, "Fuck Trump!" And I was like, I was in my bed, like in that jail, they make you go to bed at a specific time, so everyone's in their bunk bed at like 11 or 10. And I was just thinking, like, oh fuck, this might be the time. Like, I can't talk my way out of this one. And thankfully, because I was on my way to the DC gulag. It was that night that a correctional officer came in, said my name, which my first name is Eduardo. So Eduardo Gonzalez. I have a really long name. That meant that I was getting transferred. So I wasn't going to be there another day to see if they were going to beat me up. And being in the DC gulag, that was like they didn't like you there either. We were escorted everywhere we went in the jail. We had protection because they thought they would beat us up if they saw that we were alone. So they put us in a whole separate jail. It was like a mental institution that used to be there, and that's where they kept us. And the situation that was shitty. It's what you hear online from the J6ers there. All that's true, like the mold and but being in solitary confinement. That was the ultimate test. That was the test where I really felt like, oh, this is jail. Everything else was like social hour. Now, like when they would come and bring food in, I'd say, "What time is it?" And they'd tell me the time, and then I'd go mark on the shadow on the ground. When the sun hits this, it's 1:00, and then I would know that whenever the shadow was getting closer to that, food was coming, and that would make me happy. So I would find like the littlest ways to be happy because it gets crazy.
So crazy.
A lot of jerking off, I imagine.
A lot of jerking off,
what?
dude. A lot of trying different techniques too, like Indian burn, knuckles up,
Memory bank getting ran through.
right? Just trying to do it weird. Now, my question to you is, when you had a fan who was acting like legal advice, my whole thing has been, it's like January 6th was a Fed event, an intelligence agency event to set up the domestic terrorist movement to make it so you could label a U.S. citizen a terrorist, which is what they're talking about with the cartels. You label them a terrorist, you don't need the government, you don't need congressional approval to go to war. So if I label Xavier Guerrero a domestic terrorist, his constitutional rights are all gone. So
you're so right.
So
you're so right.
Did that affect you at all?
I just got to say that theory is 100%. That's so true. Pardon me. To the point where this Ashley Babbitt lady, who supposedly was a MAGA and who died.
What? Supposedly? What?
Oh yeah, I think that's pure BS. There's this video called by Woo's News. We've
had him on.
The truth of, I think it was like what happened on the Capitol. The truth about what happened at the Capitol. There's a play-by-play that shows almost like a choreographed dance or like a football play where you see one guy tap that guy's shoulder, this tap that, and you see all these things happen. I think what they intended, allegedly,
yeah, we have to say that.
They wanted us to get outraged. They wanted us to act crazier, and we didn't. I think it failed for them. Once you see the video, you'll understand that, okay, I can see why the theory is out there. How do I know for sure? I don't. But watching that video really sparked it up for me. Also, Ray Epps, the FBI agent who was telling everyone to go into the Capitol the day before. And then Trump is now coming out talking about how Ray Epps talked about many FBI agents being there. It had a dark vibe that day where it did feel like it was a pure setup. And there are specific people that have done their due diligence and research and have really tried to figure out who was behind it. Now, I think I know who it was or who they are. And it is a network that pretends to be Trump supporters. And they were trying to get Trump that Insurrection Act so he couldn't run again, so that they could be in place of Trump. I'm going to throw his name out there. General Flynn. If anyone wants to look into it, General Flynn and Brian Gamble and all these people were there. Well, not General Flynn wasn't there, but Brian Gamble was there, and he's a very close worker with Flynn in the PSYOP realm. And that guy talks a lot of mad shit on X, but we have so many receipts. That day, he was zipped up, covered up, earpiece, there way before all of us. And we'll have spaces on X where he'll come in and we'll question him. And we'll ask all these questions. And they get so pissed that they just make fun of us. They don't actually come with receipts. So anyway, I don't know. Like a lot of people
I
don't
love
have
it,
the
dude.
courage to
It's
say that.
very interesting because I think they're called the Patriot Front. You know, I've been saying they're feds forever. Somebody who's always giving me shit about Trump on the internet all the time. He's like, oh, these guys were on, their leader was on Jake Shields' show. We love Jake Shields, friend of show. We'd love to have him on. He said that they went on and said they're not a Fed, which makes me laugh. Like, what are they going to say? I mean, what else are they going to say?
You got us.
Right.
No, we're not. So, I mean, I haven't listened to the interview because I don't listen to podcasts, not because I just don't want to be influenced, you know. But so that's what they say. But I think that's what they would say, right? I mean, well,
Of course.
yeah, you may be damned if you do, damned if you don't, but still, it still seems to me like that's what they would say, is that they aren't a part of the
I mean,
Patriot,
they would say that either way. Yeah, of course.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's very
Yep.
weird to me. It's very weird.
I've seen how rumors get spread real easily in a very personal way. I had an employee once who would pump out some films, but not really talented at it. And it got to a point to where this lady friend of mine who got me out of jail quicker, she ended up telling me before she took her own life a year ago. Her life was so hard, she ended up killing herself. But she ended up telling me before she died, she said, fire that guy. People think his movies are yours and you're way better. And I was like, shit, you're right. And so I fired this guy, and he has BPD, borderline personality disorder.
Oh, the worst. The
worst, 'cause-
worst. Run.
The worst. Oh, it's the worst. He ended up, I lay him off and I become his worst enemy. And he creates this thread on Twitter with pure lies, saying my mom's CIA. My mom can barely speak English and she can't even hold a job. And my dad is FBI. And then to see how many people are so easily led by some bullshit that they can't even back up. They'll just go, oh, I knew it. Yeah. He's way too pretty. He's way too pretty.
Happens all the time. They just
now,
want to believe in. There's this whole thing that if you're successful, it's because you're a Fed. Nobody can just be successful. There's got to be an invisible hand getting you where you are, not learning how to play the game, or in my case, being a part of this kind of first wave of podcasting. You know, that, like, I'm not just talking about Tinfoil Hat, but being part of Death Squad and all those guys who went on to do huge things and being part of that group. You know, I mean, it's like I'm being decent at this. I always wanted to have my own radio show, being too crazy for radio, getting into the Wild West of podcasting. But it's like, oh, man, this guy's success. I had one person say, I think it was like anybody with over 1,000 followers is controlled ops, because he had 6 followers.
I mean, Sam, you are Eskimo brothers with the big boy.
Yeah, this guy's not helping.
I'm just saying. You know how many people hit me up?
Whose side are you on, retard?
No, but I can see why they would say that, because that's huge. You can't sit there and be like,
yeah, well, do you think they're going to book somebody who's not controlled opposition to go on right before Donald Trump?
You guys are not helping. you guys know that will be clipped and be used against
ridiculous.
me in a court of public opinion.
Ridiculous.
Freaking retard.
That is hilarious. Yeah, dude, I feel the pain.
I had to tell him not to clip something because I know this guy would clip it. Whatever is the worst thing to do, this guy would.
That's what he tweeted the other day about the flat Earth thing. Somebody's got to ask the hard question.
Yeah.
That's his job, to ask the hard question.
Such a retard. But were you with? You know, I know you said there was one guy in prison. He came in way too hot. Probably paid a little price for that. But were there other January 6 people there, and did they have access to lawyers?
Yeah, we had access to lawyers. We would actually be able to talk to them on this like mobile payphone. It was this weird blue phone that we could talk to them on. Immediately when I first got into jail, after like I was interrogated by these Actually, they were hot FBI agents, man.
Oh,
it was like a
that's who
movie
they
scene.
send in. Dudes, chicks get you horny.
Yeah, I think they're hot on purpose because then you feel comfortable. I'd just taken an Adderall, so I spilled all the beans to them in the
my
car.
God.
They're like, this guy's an idiot.
Meth, which, if you have a sex addiction, that's cranking that up.
That's a fact. And so I complied and I gave them everything. I gave them my phone. I gave them my passwords. I let them there was nothing for me to fight or hide. And then immediately when they took me to jail, I thought I was going to be there for like 3 days. That's what they told me. And then it became like an undetermined amount of time. But immediately they gave me this lawyer, and the lawyer said, look, kid, you're looking at 15 to 20 years. And I was thinking, like, what the fuck? Am I dreaming? This is insane. And then immediately from the booking room to this Zoom, because everything was COVID, a Zoom court case, a court hearing. And it's my first time in court ever. And this prosecutor is completely lying. And I couldn't help myself. I just said, Your Honor, he's lying. This is ridiculous. And the judge got so mad at me. He's like, you can't do that. You can't talk out of turn. And then my lawyer was like, can we please have a recess? And then my lawyer was like, now is his chick lawyer. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. I've never done this before. Like, what? This dude's lying. She's like, you can't talk. I talk for you. And I'm like, Jesus, this is crazy. But once they let me out on bond, which was like the smallest chance of ever happening, they did. I had no previous record and I needed one person to take me in. And it was this fan who wanted some. And she never got any, but thank you, Angelina, for taking me in.
Dude, why wouldn't you give her some, bro? She took you in. That's the least you should do. Knock the bottom out of it.
She took you in and wanted to take you in.
Yeah, she wanted to take you in more ways than one.
I'm not into chubby chicks, and that's it. That's the only reason.
Hey, you know our theory on the show: tighter vaginas.
That Sam Tripoli speaks for Sam Tripoli and Sam Tripoli alone.
Sam Tripoli,
and I think that was on Broken Sam. I don't think that's ever been said here.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, they all just kind of blend in at some point.
For you, they do.
Yep.
Okay, so I mean, but you just got out of prison, so it must have been really chunky for you not wanting to hit it.
That's a good point. Damn.
Yeah. Every time we would talk on like on a phone, like on a FaceTime kind of thing with the iPad, it would be like her half of her face, you know. And I thought she was pretty.
Oh yeah, the classic,
the angles,
classic,
bro. The angles.
Angle. Yeah. And chicks do that with their face, like guys do it with their dick pics, right?
Oh yeah, dude.
Just angles, just angles.
You got to make it look like the Empire
I'm
State
just
Building.
like, look at this monster.
Were you entertaining it though? Because you were trying to get out though, right?
I bet you was whispering sweet nothings.
Yeah.
Before he got out.
I didn't know that she was a bigger woman until it was at the airport, and I saw her, and I was like, immediate no. I was like, this ain't gonna happen. And like she had basically like a studio apartment, so we were sleeping in the same bed. And like this memory I have of her was like her giving me margarita after margarita, just hoping that would be the one.
I love it. I love it. You should just one time just let her show you she's a patriot.
Dude, you have no filter. I love it, bro. It's great, man. This guy's honest. You can tell he's not making anything up. I love that about you, bro.
So okay. So how long do you have to kick it with Chunky?
I kicked it with Chunky for about, I think it was 2.5 months, and she got so pissed. Dude, I was paying her rent. I was paying for everything.
Yeah, you'd rather pay the rent than hit it?
Yeah, wait, what was that?
You'd rather pay rent than hit it?
Yeah, I just felt like, I'm not going to hit it, so the least I can do is pay rent. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. And so she got so mad that she kicked me out. And at this time, I had an ankle monitor on. And I thought, fuck, I'm busted. Like, if they're going to see I'm in a hotel room, fuck. So I go to a hotel room, and I'm chilling, and I get a call from my officer, and he didn't give a fuck. He's like, no, bro, you can move wherever you want now. You just needed that place to land. You can go wherever you want. You can stay in a hotel. It's like, thank God. So that led to a journey, man. That led to a wild journey of living in hotels, on couches, and then with roommates. The first place I lived in was a gay meth head house, two gay lovers that were addicted to meth. I had no idea. And then I moved into this raging potheads mansion, and that was like in the heart of like Disneyland area. So that was its own wild energy. Like life after jail has been the hardest thing ever up until recently. It's like almost like I was still in jail with everyone else energetically, but now my life is completely like turned upside down. Like I'm in love with the sexiest woman ever, and I'm moving to go live with her. I'm not going to say where, so that people don't know where I live, but it's in paradise. That's the clue.
Yeah. Hawaii,
Vegas.
There we go. I got it. Bang. That's super interesting. Like just the journey. Now you say you're Latino, but you hung out with the whites.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna.
Yeah, because I look white. I mean, but actually, I would hang with all of them. Like, yeah, there actually was rarely. There was a few whites. More, I think I'd say the whites and Latinos were blended together wherever I was. But I'm 11% Nigerian because I'm Venezuelan, and there's a lot of black in Venezuela. I did the 23andMe before I knew it was a retarded thing to do, and
I'm trying to get my brother to do it, but I still think it's bullshit. But
what you mean? Well, he's talking about like the risks of doing it, but you think the results are also bullshit? Is that
I
what you
think there's some bullshit. Okay. Yep.
Could be. It could be. But I still like thinking I'm black. That's pretty tight.
We all do, dude. We all do, bro. I'm part more, bro. I got black in me.
Johnny, you got any black in you?
Yeah, I'm 2% Cameroonian. I learned that.
Oh, Johnny, you did it, huh?
Years ago. Yeah. 2% Cameroonian.
That's a good black Cameroonian.
That's a good black?
Yeah.
What's a bad black?
I just said that because you're good at soccer.
Yeah, tell us about all the blacks you hate.
Yeah. Go off on that one. Xavier Guerrero. I bet you there's a couple black guys at ICE.
I mean, they're good at soccer. They're good at soccer. Cameroon did really good at one of the World Cups. I was like, that's a good black.
They're the good blacks. Gotcha.
They run fast. They're good.
Gotcha.
So you judge blacks based on their athletic ability.
Oh, okay.
I mean, don't we all? I mean,
unbelievable. So where is the case right now?
Done. The other day, so once Trump pardoned us, I sent a text message to my probation officer and I said, I guess this is the end of our relationship. And then he wrote back, hold on, let me just wait until I hear something. And then 2 days later, he's like, all right, so you're off probation now. And it's like, fuck, that's tight.
That's great, dude.
Yeah, I mean, the probation throughout the years has been really nothing. In the beginning, I did one piss test, then I got my weed card, so they stopped piss testing me. They were hawk-eyeing me. Like one time I went to a strip club, and I had my ink monitor on, and they knew. And my probation officer was like, where were you last night? Would your mom be happy about it? I was like, dude, what is wrong with you?
Dude, that is
why are you
so crazy. What would your mother think?
Weird.
I should have been like, my mom works there, bro. Leave me alone.
I can tell you what your mom thinks.
I remember one time I went and picked up some, I don't do drugs anymore, but one time I went to pick up some drugs in a shady spot, and he was like, what were you doing there? I was like, dude, you must be really bored to be spying on every move I make.
But you're dancing
yeah.
When you're doing this, right, are you like, oh, Trump's just going to get me off? Is that why you're doing it?
Well, drugs?
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean?
I mean, dude, if I'm on probation for January 6th, which they're trying to label as the new 9/11, or even worse than 9/11, dude, I'm never touching drugs. I mean, that's just me. I would live in constant fear.
Yeah, you heard about that other guy who just got shot, right, at a traffic stop. It was a J6. He was on the list,
right.
Too. He just got shot.
Right.
And so I guess
you
guys just are just out there living life, I guess, huh?
I mean, when I came to Tennessee, like I wasn't getting drug tested anymore. I remember when I spoke to the judge and he let me come out and I said, hey, I have a weed card. Can we get this drug testing off of this thing? He's like, well, show me an updated weed card and then I will remove it. So the first time I piss tested, I was like, hey, there's going to be weed in there. And he's like, well, I have to write you up. I'm like, the judge knows because I have a new weed card. So it's okay.
I don't know
So
how you do that.
eventually, they stopped drug testing me after that. But when I moved to Tennessee, they said, "Sorry, there's no legal weed here, so we're going to drug test you." And I still did drugs, and they never drug tested me. They never did. It was like after 6 months, I was
walking
like,
on
"No,
water
no,
over here, huh? I mean, damn.
Jesus style, bro." I know, but it was a good lesson for me. Drugs became a crutch because making movies is like, this is all I do, and I'm a loner. And like, I don't know if you've ever heard of that study with the rats and cocaine. Like, you get a rat drinking cocaine water inside of a lonely cage. Yeah. It's going to keep drinking cocaine water until it dies. So what they would do is do another rat, and just before it dies, they put it into a cage with all these friends and toys, and then the cocaine water is still present, but it chooses the regular water. I think, like, from the bigger scale of it, I chose to do drugs because shit was so depressing. But I kept working, and I make a lot of money. Like, that's the pros and cons of this whole thing. Like, I never stopped working, but life had been miserable.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. I mean, you're crazy, Nick, to get high while you're on probation. Unbelievable.
The only reason why I'm saying it now is because I've been pardoned. I was thinking, how honest can I be in the world now? But before I was pardoned, I was like, shit. Because, I did sign a lot of things that said I did not do drugs this month. But, oh, dude, I know. I'm pretty lucky, dude.
But you okay, so you're on probation doing drugs. Now you're off probation. You tell me you're not doing drugs, which you don't have to tell me.
I stopped doing drugs 3 months ago.
Okay.
I don't drink. I did smoke weed the other day. It's California sober. It was when Trump announced that I was pardoned, I did smoke a joint.
That's so cool.
Celebrate, bro. Celebrate.
Is there any other benefits of being pardoned? I mean, I don't know. Do you get like a free?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Dinner at IHOP? I don't know.
What do you mean? Is there any other benefits?
I don't know.
What's that mean, dude?
I don't know.
You get free bags at CVS.
Wait up. Wasn't when Biden pardoned all his people, you can pardon them for future fucking...
I don't know if you can do that.
Yeah, that's what he did with Fauci, and for things that they haven't necessarily been accused
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if they got any future
No,
pardons.
but what he's saying, like, future crimes.
Yeah, I mean...
So, like, if I haven't done this yet?
But these were crimes that they had been convicted of in this case.
Right. So what's the future? I don't know the answer to that. Okay. What's the future of Good Lion?
Future of Good Lion is more healing films. I do want to continue exposing truths that people don't know or that need to get spread out. But there's a big future. I want to start hiring people to do what I do as well, but making healing series, things that help people figure out what to do after they've learned the dark truth of the world. Because oftentimes red pilling is like, it's really like exposing all the wounds of the world, and kind of like it's like getting a tattoo on your soul. And I want to be the Aquaphor to help people soothe after that, because there isn't much out there for that. And so also though, Good Lion Studios in the future, there's going to be films that I'm making that are like, I kind of want to build a Noah's Ark for Hollywood, and for those in Hollywood who want to jump ship and go into a place that's holier, safer, less pedos, less Satanism, no pedos, just none of that shit. I want to hire them. And I know that with the people I have behind me, that dream is very close to getting materialized. And I never wanted to make documentaries. I remember once I went to a sidekick. It was 2017. She said, I see you going back and forth to DC and making documentaries around the world. And I thought, I just wasted my money because I hate documentaries and I'm not political. I'm not going to DC. And then fast forward 3-4 years,
wow,
I'm going back and forth to DC and I got fans all around the world.
That's crazy,
so like,
dude.
I realized that fate and free will are in a dance together all the time.
That.
I might think I'm doing, was that?
I love that.
Yeah, dude.
I think that's great. I tell people all the time, I'm a Christian, but people get angry at manifestation. They think it's like anti-Christian. I don't see that. I think there is mysticism within Christianity. People can fight with me all they want on that. I don't care. I'm not here to cause any problems. But I believe in manifestation. And like, if I can find my old notebooks that I was writing down daily, my goals in life, how many of these things I like crossed off? It's pretty amazing.
You don't think prayer is a way of manifestation?
I do. I think
don't
that
you think
could be it as well.
Yeah.
In a weird way. But so my question to you is, as you hire people, would you hire somebody who's been deported from the country and used to be on tinfoil hat, but because he's no longer here, we've eliminated his position? Would you hire him from Mexico? Would you do that?
I use Adobe Premiere. I know a little bit about editing, so I'm not like a rookie.
Okay.
Start me off a little bit higher than minimum wage would be nice.
Oh, but do you know American minimum wage in Mexico?
He's already negotiating a pay increase.
But in Mexico, American minimum wage is like
Killing it.
8 figures.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I don't need.
Okay, dude.
No insurance. We're okay.
It's good to know you got a job. We're gonna miss you.
hilarious.
That seat will always be empty. We'll never ever fill it.
Just tape over
again.
it, yeah.
So that's the goal: is to get some
workers. Home Depot has a lot of them.
to get some people to help you edit and just try to put out some positive energy. My buddy he's super Christian. He was like, "Are you doing more good than bad?" And I go, "Well, I think if people would have listened to my show, less people would have gotten up and less people would be dealing with health problems that they have right now. Less people would be falling for a lot of the psyops that they're pushing on you. Less people would be falling for this cultural wars they would be. So in that sense, I do think we do a good job. The thing I would like everybody to get from this show is that you have to save yourself. I think being passive isn't the way to go through life, you know. And faith without works is dead. I believe that regardless of whatever religion you have. If you're not attacking, you're not setting yourself up for success, you're not setting yourself up for whatever, you know, traumatic event's going to happen in the future, you know, and you're just waiting for somebody to just save you, I think you're setting yourself up for a lot of chaos in your life. You should always be preparing yourself, both spiritually, financially, physically. That's what I think. Final thoughts, Nick.
Okay, I want to add to that what you just said. I got baptized in October, and that's what started my path to sobriety and Christian. So since then, life has really been focused with manifestation. Like the things that I've always wanted are happening, and it wasn't always so easy. So what I want to leave everyone off with was the beginning of this entire journey of me making movies started off with I went to college to be a filmmaker and a psychologist, and I realized quickly I wasn't going to make money. So I became a computer network engineer, and then I got a job as an IT support agent or whatever at a few startups in Carpinteria, Santa Barbara area. And there was one time we had a company party, and I drank too much, and I decided that I was going to take an Uber home. But for some reason, when I got to my car, I decided I'm just going to drive home. And I drove home drunk, and I drove home on the PCH, and I don't even remember what happened. I just woke up on the couch, and my ex-wife said, "Hey, you totaled the car." I said, "What?" I woke up, I looked outside, and it was parked nicely, and I had a really shitty Prius. Now it's tattooed on me. I hit guardrail. So like, I was studying the Prius. I moved it to the back, and I realized, oh my God, I could barely turn it. And I saw the scraping of the guardrail, and I saw tall grass, and I just thought, what happened? So then there was a shuttle that would take us to work, and it was on the freeway. There was an accident, so the shuttle was taking its time. And I thought, I'm going to study and find the green paint on the guardrail. And I found it. And in that moment, I started to cry because I realized it was like 3 to 4 feet away from no guardrail. So what probably happened was I hit one side and I hit the other. But if it had happened 3 or 4 feet before, I would have flown off that cliff. Damn. And I would have been dead. And what I realized in that moment, it hit me so hard. It was two thoughts. Dude, you would not have been around for your daughter. My daughter's about to turn 8. And also you haven't done what you knew you were going to do. You've always known you were going to make movies and music. Like, you know that you're going to get known for it. Go do it. And so immediately after that, I completely shifted my gears, like fueled on Tony Robbins, and completely like people either thought I was crazy or they got behind and wanted to follow. And then I was too loud about Trump at my job that I got fired. And so like with all this energy, now I'm like, oh my God. And then I saw Fall the Cabal. And then that's where you guys know where the story takes off. So for anyone who's listening and their life seems like everything's over, that might just mean that everything's starting. So that's what I want to leave it off on.
That's great.
I love that.
Yeah, that was great.
I love that. I love that. That's
Nice,
a great
nice.
story, Nick. Nick, one more time, tell them where they can find you.
Goodlion.tv. If you go sign up on there, there's a promo code, Sam the Man, all one word, capital S. You can get 40% off my memberships for life. Like, that's every billing cycle. That's huge. I never do that. So also, when you do sign up on here, get the app. Go to the App Store, Good Lion TV. It's fun. You can stream it to your TV. There are thousands of movies on here, and you can watch 65 of mine and then 300 episodes that I produced.
Damn, bro. You're a hustler.
Yeah.
I love it. Nick, thanks for coming on. I hope with Sam, make sure I get that link so I can include in the description. Great show, and let's break down this episode. Are you guys ready to?
Rock!
Yeah, there we go. We're in it,
So
dude.
weird.
We're in it, dude. We're in it, dude. People want it. You got it. There you go. Crazy episode. Great episode.
Someone should make a song with that in the outro that we could listen to.
Oh yeah, let's make a. Hey, if you love the show and you do music, let's do an outro. Okay.
I remixed the intro for the outro, but I'd love a new one. If
Yeah,
someone
can
could
we
do
get a
that.
new intro, an
With rock in
outro?
it, like rock,
with Xavier,
because we don't know how long we're gonna have XG anyway.
Yeah,
and
we don't
would
know how
like
long
some-
we're gonna have him.
Yeah,
You know,
enjoy me.
his
Enjoy me while
time
I'm
on the
here.
show could be short.
Yeah, I'm gonna be
And we're
editing
gonna miss
videos.
him, but no one will ever sit in that seat ever.
Yeah, you guys want to contact me? Go to goodlion.tv.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some chunky chicks out there looking to give out green cards. Xavier Grouse.
I'll take
He's
her.
in it, dude. Hey, dude, I love big women, so I personally would have hit it just to say thank you for letting me have a place to land.
I think it's kind of Mando. I think I would have too.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
have too. And I'd be like, thank you for being a friend.
Big respect. for him.
Traveled around the world and back again.
Did you
My
think-
heart is pure.
Did you think they were all going to get pardoned? That to me still like when I heard it, I was like, oh,
I think a couple people haven't for some reason.
Well, there were a couple that I was surprised did get pardoned. Like that one guy who really kind of went in on that cop, with the taser and everything. Like I was surprised he got pardoned. Honestly, I mean,
But that's
Glad they
that
did.
also adds to the chaos.
Do you think they should all be pardoned? There's some people like Pierce Morgan's has this whole thing where like, some of them should, but the violent ones shouldn't.
Pierce Morgan, I mean, like sometimes he does good work, and then most of the time it's just hot garbage.
he's a tabloid slut. That's
Yeah.
what he comes from. A tabloid.
He just loves this debate thing. Just like he really is the new Jerry Springer of politics, right? Dude, Pablo Escobar had Pablo Francisco had the best joke about Jerry Springer. Okay, and he'd be like, "Okay, welcome. Tell us who you hate. I hate Jews, I hate Mexicans, and I hate blacks." Okay, that's crazy. Well, here we got a Jew, a Mexican, and a black. And they'd all just fight. That's Pierce Morgan right now. That's all he does.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, good for him. I've been wanting to have debates on the show.
But I got to give it to him. The debates are pretty good, even though they're over Zoom. There's a lot of people kind of like try not to.
I don't think you want to
interrupt
put
each
those
other.
people in the same room.
Oh no, that's where it gets interesting.
Jank, I would love to see that. He gets so emotional. It's so.
He knows what he's doing too. He's a phony fuck.
He's such a phony fuck, and it's gross.
It's performative. You can tell.
Well,
he's putting it on.
everything's about attention, and I'm just not into that at all.
That's their currency, though. Those people who work in that realm, their currency is attention.
Yeah.
And that's all they have.
The fact that somebody on the right let that fat fuck come on and like talk about how he's no longer a progressive. It's like, get out of here. You're gross. You're disgusting.
A few people in that space have done more harm than that stupid piece of shit.
100%. But hey, dude, it sounds like a crazy existence that must have sucked.
Yeah.
Imagine if you just have your buddy crash and all of a sudden kick in the door, blaze in the fall. In comes SWAT into your house, and they just grab them, and then you're like, "Are you gonna fix the door?"
And for what?
How do you call the landlord? Going SWAT came.
Yeah.
It wasn't my fault. My friend just came over for a hot pocket.
Do you know how much work has to go in for the FBI to know where every 1,500 of those people were? Because they obviously knew he was at his friend's house. They must have investigated, but that's a lot of manpower that has to be put into it.
Yeah. It makes you think, right? I bet a lot of it's automated, like facial recognition. It's just like, oh yeah, there's his address. Go get him. But to coordinate it like that, where they do it, I think they did a lot of them at the same time. You know, they coordinated with local law enforcement to pick them up. all
Just
at the same
kicking in the door,
time.
like acting like he's a threat.
Jack booted.
Remember when you kind of entertained the idea about going? For like
No.
that little tad bit where you're like, yeah.
Never happened.
you would have been arrested?
I would never have gone.
You wouldn't have gone in the Capitol, would you? If you'd been
No,
there?
I would have been like, let's get out of here,
Yeah.
dude. This is not a good idea. But then they were arresting people for just being there. And I was like, I thank God my daughters were 6 months at the time. And I was like, I can't leave. They're little people.
Can you imagine? Hey, we would have had some excellent publicity for the pod, though, if you'd been busted.
No, the pot would be dead because I'd be in jail forever.
dude,
You'd be like, carry on my way.
Well, first of all, you have just gotten it out right now, but we'd be calling you. You know, we'd be accepting the charges every
Will
week.
you accept the charge
It would
from?
have gone viral. They would have raided the damn studio looking for Sam. I'm arrested. Johnny's arrested.
Yeah, that would be, that'd be a great credit for you going on stage too. You know him from the J6 insurrection.
Man, but this guy was living dangerous on the.
He really was. Dude, he was doing drug buying.
I'm just
and selling
doing drugs.
or
Hey,
buying
yeah,
drugs
what
in
were you
jail.
doing over there? Oh, what do you care? I'm like, you'll go back in. I'd be like, bro, I'd be a choir boy.
You'd want him around though, buying your mom flowers.
Yeah, I
buying
mean, that
everybody
guy's great. I mean,
dinners.
like, let's face it.
I
If
love
you're
that guy, yeah.
probably a good-looking guy, it's a little easier.
Oh, you think so? In jail?
Unlike now, the opposite is for women. The more attractive you are, the more they want to beat the shit out of you. Right? They're like, oh yeah, you think you got pretty privilege here? Bang, bang, pow. But I would be buying everybody stuff. What you want? Everybody, get a little bit. Bang, bang, bang.
like
Hooking everybody up with hot plates.
Hot plates, yeah, whatever that is.
And you know that gay black midget was just looking to get some action.
You think that's what he told him? He's like,
Oh yeah,
vagina. You
I
want to
am
use
a
it?
woman.
You wanna use
Okay.
this?
I've heard the story about Tiny Mr. T, the black Mexican, has been busted constantly blowing people in the parking garage of Hollywood and Highland.
Who is that?
You know, there's like
Is there a character for Mr. T?
on Hollywood Boulevard, he was like Tiny Mr. T.
Yeah, you got it. Can you update your cultural references if you're on Hollywood Boulevard? I mean, Mr. T hasn't been famous in
Yeah, but you know, if
30
you
years.
just go with the weird, mohawk and the beard, and you just walk around, going, "Oh, I pity the fool," and I'll
But
blow you in the
literally,
parking
how long
garage.
has it been since he was in a movie, Mr. T? Like 20 years.
I
minimum.
thought he died.
You're
Yeah,
telling
that
me
guy.
that guy's blowing people?
in the parking lot. Yeah, allegedly.
Who else could he play though, Johnny? If he's not going to play Little
Yeah,
Mr.
who
T,
else?
who else would you want him
is
to
Little
play?
Mr. T gonna play?
Black people can play.
Fool,
a lot.
I ain't no
They got
leprechaun.
options.
Well, technically you are. The leprechauns were black pygmies, so technically you are a
He
leprechaun.
could be Jay-Z.
Dude, honestly, I did not. I mean, I should have known, but
Ice
that-
Cube. He'd be a good Ice Cube. He
be
could
good.
do Ice Cube. Yeah, I could see that.
Oh yeah, bang bang, covered doing NWA while
midget
blowing
with
dudes
the
in the
black LA
bathroom.
cap. Yeah, he could do midget. I get some
Funniest
Jerry curls.
joke ever is Ron Taylor has a joke about how as he's a black comic, and he has the funniest joke about how he can't get pegged by a white woman. His ancestors will cry. It's so funny.
Hey, do you think they will ever take his Hollywood star away? Do they ever take him away?
Ask if they've. That's
I
a great
think so.
question.
Several celebrities have had their stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame vandalized or become controversial, but apparently no stars have been permanently removed. Let me ask it to Google.
Damn, no one?
Let's see.
Holy shit.
Not even Bill Cosby, apparently. Let me see.
That one, no, it's kind of.
I just want to see if it.
No one's been removed. Not even Bill Cosby. No one.
Damn.
They get vandalized, I guess, but
I just heard that somewhere. Fucking with you, actually.
I know.
I just want to make sure because it's still working with Yeah, nobody. This is from 2003, but it says no one has ever lost their star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, according to the LA Times.
Okay.
This you know what this headline was? Nobody has ever lost their star on the Walk of Fame. Will Trump be the first?
Oh, there we go. These guys suck.
LA
That was a
Times.
great episode. It was fun. The guy Nick is very interesting, so we appreciate him. Come on, go to Sam Triple.
Sorry, before you move on, this is the guy that was spearheading the effort. I mean,
Oh.
Has there ever been a more obvious guy?
Oh my God!
Remove the star.
I want to see your search history.
Remove the star.
Power bottom.
Look how serious he is.
Just, I mean, what a dork.
I want to. Yeah, I bet. How funny it would be if this guy his house burned down and Trump is here to try to save it.
Yeah, that'd be the best. Hey, no, I mean, our hearts.
No, it wouldn't be the
our
best.
thoughts
It
go
would
off.
be ironic.
Guys, you want to see me live?
I do.
In the last, as of right now, the final Tinfoil Hat comedy for the year. I'm going to be Columbus, Ohio on the 6th of February. Pottstown, PA, Soul Joel's on the 7th. Morristown, New Jersey at the Dojo Comedy Mind Comedy Club on the 8th. And then Phoenix, Arizona on the 27th through the 1st. Now, new dates coming. T-shirts are on fire. My premium content fire right now, dude. Putting up mass episodes. Please grab your tickets now. Grab a subscription. Only $8 for 3 episodes a week. The Cash Daddy's Patreon. Hey, dude, if you like to make money, it's the place to go.
You got 1,000 people. You guys, there's the people paying attention.
Yep. We got 1,000. I mean, dude, $20 make you holler. Plus, we are thinking about putting together a tournament of making whoopee. Couples will vie for the right to make love in front of Johnny.
You're saying a tournament. Now, what is the competition in this tournament?
Who we're going to put.
What determines who advances?
We do.
So we're voting? Is that
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah. We're going to vote.
I see.
Or we'll let people vote. Johnny, it's interactive.
I guess if you're willing to let people watch you have sex, then you're willing to be put on Twitter. And
Yeah,
let people watch.
we will be. I
didn't think of this as being. I thought that these people would be kind of privately engaged with us in some instructional
dude,
stuff.
everyone seems to be coming out going, they want to have bone in front of me.
These sound like people who mostly don't want to join and pay $1,000, so they're trying to get around the system.
Hey, dude, whatever. We'll work it out. Guys, again, samtripley.com, Patreon, T-shirts. The Chaos Twins is coming. Grab your issue right now. Grab it. Number 2, Bang Bang Pow. They're drawing it. We're working on our videos. We're working on our next episode. We also have the next issue after number 2 going. So it is the Chaos Twins, our ride again. T-shirts are on fire. Support the show. Buying gold and silver. Rife Technology. AquaCura Hydrogen Brown Gas. Dude, pronouns. Harley Ray, we gotta love those candles. Those, what else? Crystals. You name it, you can get it there. Their website's gorgeous. Dude, I took look at this. Is this an empty bag? Yeah, this was all of my chemical-free body supplements I took today, and I will be getting my supplements going. I promise you. Let's go, bro. EMF rocks. Prometheus, if you're looking for a decentralized website, and Brain Supreme, if you love the questions that our good friend is asking, you could go, how is XG 3 percentage points smarter with his questions? Simple answer. Brain Supreme, get in it to win it. All the audio, all the podcasts, everything right there. Bang, what else? That's it, guys. Anything else? Xavier.
Hit that like button, subscribe, and thank you for watching.
My good friend, Johnny Woodard.
Come check me out on Instagram, Johnny A. Woodard, still nuked on Twitter. So.
Unbelievable. Guys, enjoy these highlights.
Here's a clip from the latest Broken Sim.
I mean, Trump is... He seems to be paying off quickly, though. He's kind of like, okay, here you go. There you go. Okay, we had a deal. There you go. There you go. This is yours.
No,
Take
dude,
it.
he even said it. The Ulbricht, when he announced that he was releasing Ross Ulbricht, the language, I forget it exactly, but he was like, the libertarians came through with support for me, and now I'm releasing.
They voted for me. Now I'm taking care of you. I mean, dude, he's got...
That's him, man. It's what you've always said, though, Sam. What you said about him fits him so perfectly. It's that crime boss mentality, dude. And that's how it works with crime bosses. You scratch their back,
Yeah.
I'll scratch yours,
They take care of you, dude. They take care of you. And here we are. Guy's out of prison, got a hot wife. These hot chicks that married, I love to talk to a chick who married a guy in prison. Like, is it that he's not banging other chicks? Is that what that is? You know where he is
It's
all the
literally
time? Like, what is that? Why are
the
you
ultimate
doing
bad boy. I mean, he is in prison. I mean, that's
And
the
she's
ultimate
got to
bad
be like, dog, he gets all that Bitcoin, bang, bang, pow.
Yeah, he had to have some tucked away, right? Must.
Yeah,
have.
I mean, you have to have your Bitcoin spread out when you're running a digital underground, right?
Got to be some cold wallet. I mean, because he would have been smart with his money, right? There's got to be some cold wallet that only he knows the passphrase for that they didn't find. That's buried, under somebody's house or something. You know what I mean? Something.
Yeah. And what do you think he's doing? He's just eating in and out, going hard in the paint.
Well, let me
playing Fortnite. Do you think he's playing Fortnite right now?
Oh yeah, imagine, dude. I mean, that's got to be great catching up on all the tech and stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
oh, dude, what is this?
But
what is this? This is Instagram. What is TikTok like?
Let me hold on. I had the video.
No, dude. I mean, it's like, come on. His wife set up a Twitter for him.
Let me see. Yeah, and
she probably just set it up to just keep all the other chicks who want to marry a guy in jail away. Oh, by the way, this is his wife. You skank, get out of here. He's taken.
Here's the
DMs, slinging it.
Here's the video he released not long after he got out of jail. Here we go.
Donald Trump granted me a full pardon. I was doing life.
Strong Adam's apple.
And I was locked up for more than 11 years.
Oh my God.
He let me out. I'm a free man now. So let it be known that Donald Trump is a man of his word. Thank you so much, President Trump.
Thought he was going to do high heel.
This amazing blessing.
Dude, that'd be great if he just threw a Heil out there.
I'm so grateful to have my life back, to have my future back, to have this second chance. This is such an important moment for me and for my whole family. It's an important moment for everybody who's been working for this for years. This is a victory, and it's your victory too. And this is an important moment for everybody, everywhere, who loves freedom and who cares about second chances. So it feels amazing to be free, to say the least. It's overwhelming, and for the next however long we need, I'm going to be with my family so that we can reunite and be whole again and heal. But there's a lot to talk about, and I look forward to re-engaging with the free world.
Podcast.
And
yeah, dude, come on, Broken Sim.
We'll talk again.
Come on, Broken Sim. Let's go.
Do you think
come on the show?
Do
you can be our co-host.
I think Whitney Webb is going to ruin Trump for him. I mean, there's you keep hearing about her blackpilling people, but
she is like they're coming at her, dude. And it's
nobody can ruin it for him, though. You know what I'm saying? Like if
he's gonna be like, you go sit in prison. Yeah, I get it. I'm out of a little prison. I'm fine with being in a digital prison at this point.
Yeah.
So I was like, walk around, eat Chipotle, okay. Go do something. Learn jujitsu.
Yeah. I had literal gang stalking, not just social media gang stalking when I was in prison. So I'm totally fine with being tracked by the government. You know.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just like it. Yeah, I mean, like I feel for Whitney because like she's literally getting it from all sides.
And she may well be right. She may end up being.
She's always right. She tends to be more right than she's wrong, if ever wrong at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, anyways, dude, that's it, Johnny. God,
anyway, did that make you? Did you feel emotional about that though when you heard he was getting out? Because
I didn't believe it till I was going to see it, and I'm happy because we're so not used to ever getting any good news. I mean, just think about that. I mean. Biden, I'm sorry, like everyone can yell and scream all they want. I don't think the election was real. I think they just shoved him in.
Now, Sam, I appreciate you doing that harmful conspiracy theory parody that you just did. just for YouTube's sake. That's a harmful conspiracy theory, and you just did an excellent parody of it. Well done.
I am parodying this. Yeah, this is my character I'm working on. Conspiracy theory guy who's always wrong. I'm wrong. Dude, could you sense how wrong I was there, Johnny? Can
dude,
you
I took
sense
the quiz. I swear to dude, that's what you have to do that. And
It's unbelievable.
You can say anything if you do that. You can say
no, it's also us. Okay, it's let's face it, it's me.
Mm-hmm.
And because I'm watching all these conspiracy shows, getting like a bazillion views, and like they just
should have done the
us.
Tucker thing and just been. I'm just an entertainment show. I'm an entertainer.
I'm an entertainer. I'm using the Rachel Maddow legal argument. I'm an entertainer. Hey.
But yeah,
I don't even know, dude. My favorite thing. So did Johnny? Did we talk about this on the show about how Saturday Night Live clowned Rachel Maddows and that they kept panning to the guy?
Yeah,
and he's like, "I'm not Rachel Maddows." And then in real life, after that video dropped, in real life, that guy is on the show. And whenever Rachel Maddows interviews him, she takes her glasses off.
Why?
He wears glasses.
So people don't get them confused.
Dude, I was watching it the other day. I'm like, it's literally Rachel Maddows interviewing Rachel Maddows.
Oh, that's so funny, dude.
It's so funny, dude.
That girl who plays her, by the way, is pretty funny. She's one of the few new cast members that I find funny. That Sarah Sherman girl, she's funny.
She is good. They have some good stuff. There's some people on there that are just like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't get it.
You know who else is really good? The guy who have you ever seen the sketch Name That Person? I think it's called Name That Person. And he's like a super like emo goth looking guy, super
that tall, skinny guy.
Yeah. He's good too. He plays that character really well.
Yeah.
And then the Latino kid is fire. He's fire.
The one where they had like Tim Kaine on there. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. That was
the
the
Latino kid. It's funny, bro.
He's fire, dude. He's fucking fire.
Yeah.
You know?
No, there are a couple of people that are really funny, and then
for sure, dude. I mean, like, dude, and again, if they've taken that video with Tim Kaine, taken that energy to the Biden administration for the entire 4 years, they would get huge ratings.
Huge ratings. Yeah.
They would get your job is to take to bring truth to power, question authority, not to suck their dicks. You know,
no,
it's just can you be AI? That was me. That was a dangerous
Dick
conspiracy.
Cheney. No, don't suck their Dick Cheneys.
Don't suck their Dick Cheneys, dude. Please stop sucking their Dick Cheneys. Please, okay?
Trump's gonna release the JFK files. We're told the RFK files, the MLK files, all that stuff's coming out. That's another believe it when I see it.
No, well, it's like we were talking about on Conspiracy Social Club. Like they're dropping files. You know what files we want, okay? We don't want the files of they like to get weird. We don't give a shit.
Nope.
We want the files where they say who did it. Who was involved? What part of the government was involved? Not like, dude, the guy liked to do speed and try to blow himself.
Nobody cares.
Up.
Same way we all know MLK was a philanderer. Nobody cares he cheated on his wife, dude.
Nobody cares.
50 years ago, bro.
Yeah, nobody cares. Nobody cares. And the family's like, we know it. It's our dad, our grandpa. We don't care. Shut up. It's just crazy to me, Johnny. It's just absolutely nuts to me, dude.
We also have Trump talking about I'll just while we're still on our hot topics here.
Welcome to Hot Topics, guys. Is this a hot topic or what?
Something else giving me hope this week was this.
Oh my God, Johnny!
I mean, can you imagine? Here we go.
Oh my God, Johnny!
And it's going to happen very quickly. It's time for the United States to return to the system that made us richer and more powerful than ever before. Do you know the United States in 1870 to 1913? All tariffs, and that was the richest period in the history of the United States, relatively speaking. In other words, relatively. And they set up the Great Tariff Commission of 1887, and this commission had one function: what to do with all the money that we took in. It was so enormous that they had no idea. It was
I love it, dude.
Committee was set up 1887, and what to do with all of the money that we had. And again, Teddy Roosevelt was a beneficiary because when McKinley was killed,
He loves
He
McKinley.
took over this vast sum of money, and he did all of those national parks and all of the other things. And I'm not knocking him, but he was given a vast amount of money, and that was all made through tariffs. We had no income tax. The income tax came in 1913.
Yeah.
As I said in my speech last week, instead of taxing our citizens to enrich foreign nations, we should be tariffing and taxing foreign nations to enrich our citizens. Does that make sense, right?
Yeah, it's so crazy, Johnny. I've been on stage going, how happy would you be if Trump got rid of federal taxes? Everyone's quiet. Nobody claps.
Really?
I go, are you guys crazy?
If you'd like to hear the rest of this episode, subscribe to Broken Simulation in your podcasting app or check us out at youtube.com/SamTripoli.
We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind. Tinfoil hat, tinfoil hat, tinfoil hat.